What's happening, guys? Welcome back to Vertical Football. Welcome back to another episode of the Manchester United Fans Corner. I'm your host, Shegu. So, guys, first and foremost, there's a big breaking news for Manchester United that Casemiro has just announced that this season is going to be his last season at Manchester United due to the fact that no new contract offer and his contract came to the expiration. So, guys, we'll be discussing Casemiro. I think so. Let me quickly lay out the things we'll be discussing in this episode. First and foremost, we'll be discussing Casemiro in terms of the news about him not being offered a new contract. We'll discuss also the links in terms of midfielders now, because that situation opens up a very big situation for Manchester United in terms of what we're going to do in the summer. So we want to analyze what does that mean for us going into the summer? And then we'll look at also the links, just to briefly touch the links of a little rumor about Koopman coming to Manchester United. So guys, a lot of talking points. Let's jump right into it. So the first one is Casemiro. Obviously, has been announced that this is his last season at Manchester United. The contract has expired and it wasn't offered a new one. I think we did an episode, if you remember, where we talked about Casemiro. And we said Casemiro is a fantastic servant to Man United. I think he has been, especially this season, I did a in-depth analysis of Casemiro's performance this season in terms of how he has been really an energy bringer into this team. He has been very, very effective for us in this team. And when you see, for example, you look at the heat map of Casemiro this season, right? I was looking at the heat map and I compared the heat map of Casemiro and someone like Moses Caicedo, and I'm seeing, wow, Casemiro obviously is doing crazy work in terms of how deep the runs are all over the center of the pitch. And I'm going to do the analysis further to appreciate him, what he has done. Casemiro has been really fantastic for us. I think, but I'm always of the opinion, and I've said it also in previous episodes, that I'm of the opinion that he has to leave the club. He has tried, he has been a good servant, but United has to move forward. United has to move forward. I want to appreciate Casemiro for, all he has done. I think he came to a league where, at the point where he came to the league, looking at the success he had in Real Madrid, the league obviously was very fast for Casemiro. Casemiro, I think, even when you remember when he came in, he needed some games to adjust to the tempo of the Premier League. And when you look at Casemiro now, you know that, yes, the legs are not there as it used to be for him, because of his age and everything, but you still see that for the minutes, 60 minutes, or even last game against City, where he was able to give us, 90 minutes. It was even, I think, he was giving the man of the match last game, right? The guy is by TV publication, TV station. So obviously the guy is massive, really massive for us, and he begs to question that is going to be a big shoe to fill, really big shoe to fill, and to even do more than what he has done for us. So I want to appreciate Casemiro. Big servant for us. Yes, ups and downs in a particular moment, but it was there. You cannot say Casemiro did not put effort in a particular game. And I think those are the kind of players that we have to appreciate, really. So I think obviously we've had Casemiro, and let me also put this out there. We expected Casemiro's news to be leaving, but now also I think we should be expecting Harry Maguire's news also. I want to say this clearly. People might have their different opinions about Harry Maguire. But for me, I believe Maguire should also follow. I think we should be expecting, in my opinion, we should be expecting Harry Maguire's name also to be listed to leave the club. Really, I feel also that that's another player that very decent servant for us, very, very effective for us. I think he's our assistant captain at the moment. But the fact is, United has to move past him. I know people will say, yes, he's on the ball. But the fact is that there are deficiencies in his game that we need to improve upon as a team. And I think that was a different discussion. But I think I'll be expecting, obviously, the likes of Harry Maguire also to have this kind of news, and for him to also leave. Also, I think in the midfield compartment, also I believe and I expect that Man Utd also should leave, because I think we've analyzed it also on the podcast here that these are decent guys. These are guys that you can't fault them for one bad behavior or the other. But the fact is, United has to move forward. And sometimes you have to take the tough decisions to move forward as a club, right? And I think the tough decision should be that Man Utd and Casemiro should leave the club. I think Casemiro has announced that, but we're expecting that Man United decides to sell Man Utd. And I think if we're ambitious, I would say the PDs, if we're ambitious, I've looked at a lot of midfielders around and looking at the Premier League and where football is going to in the Premier League in terms of physicality, technicality, but most importantly, physicality. I think we are not going to be doing well, we shouldn't be doing any more business other than bringing Baleba and Elliot Anderson in. Not one. I think we should be ambitious enough to get the two of them in. If we are serious. Really, if we are serious. I believe those two guys can really boost up our midfield. Really boost our midfield with the likes of Bruno, obviously Kobe Mainoo, Mason Mount and the likes. So for me, that's what I really feel because, for example, let me give you a view into why I say, for example, like the Baleba. I was looking at midfielders this season, doing my research, and I was comparing the heat maps of midfielders that have consistently played for their teams this season in the Premier League and outside of the Premier League. And then I came across Caicedo's heat map, crazy heat map. Look at the stats, crazy stats, the work rate. I look at Casemiro. I saw that Casemiro was doing crazy work for us. Even when we were playing that midfield 2 under Ruben Amorim, he was doing crazy work for us. But also when I look at Baleba, I'm still also seeing the same pattern of crazy work. And so I think we have to go for Elliot Anderson and Baleba if you're a serious club. Now, I think the role of Casemiro, that defensive midfielder role, has been a role that we have not accurately replaced, right? And I think that there are two major things. I've mentioned it before, but I think there are two major things that should guide our movement for a player in that role. Number one is that player must be a beast in terms of work rates, tackles, interceptions, and the necessary things you need. The person must not be faced. The person must be someone that actually works hard, right? But not just that alone. I think, and that's what we've always focused on. After the likes of carrick left Man United, we must also look for someone that is very decent or more than decent on the ball. It's very important. We need someone that is also very good on the ball. So we need a mixture of a beast, hard tackler, but the person is actually good on the ball. We need to upgrade the technical level of our team. Yes, in certain departments, we are becoming very more technical. Our forward is becoming more technical. Ahmad, Mbeumo, Cunha, the what they call it, the technical level of that team, Bruno Fernandes is going up. But also we need to improve the technical level of our midfield. And I believe one major way to set that pattern is to go for the likes of Baleba and Elliot Anderson because they are physically imposing and also they are very good on the ball. They are very good on the ball and they can also be better on the ball. So I will give the opinion. So guys, all the best to Casemiro. I wish him all the best. He's a player I respect so much and I want to thank him for his service at Manchester United. So let's go to the next body of discussion. The next body of discussion is about Mason Greenwood. I think there's a particular news. I don't know how true it is, but I saw the news and I was like, let me give my own opinion. This is that's what we are doing on the show. We're giving opinions, quick opinions about what's going on. I don't think we should be thinking about bringing Mason Greenwood back. I think that chapter should be closed. And one of the things that is very surprising to me about when I hear some people discuss it, because everybody has their own opinion on Mason Greenwood's case. But the fact is, I remember in those days when I started supporting Man United under Sir Alex Ferguson usually says something, and I think he still says it up to today. There was a particular interview I watched of him in one of the Man United programs that they did last year, where he still said that Manchester United, we don't just train footballers, we also train human beings. Greenwood has made some mistakes, and I think I'm happy of the fact that he has given a second chance at reviving his career at Marseille, right? And maybe for Marseille, he can go to that team. But I think we should move away from Mason Greenwood. We should just move away. Fantastic talents. But for obvious reasons, it will not just even make sense to bring him back to Manchester United. It will make sense. Footballing reasons, yes, you can say, oh, talented, but balance everything. A footballer is not just a player on the pitch. He's also a human being. It's also about your values as a club. United obviously has values, right? I know, yes, you look at our history and look at certain points where but we have values, right? And I'm happy that he has been given an opportunity as a second chance at Marseille, but I think his career should progress from there, not back to United. So I'm not going to be making that decision. If I was to make the decision, I'm not going to be making that decision based on just footballing reasons also. I have to look at the human perspective to it, right? All is forgiven between him and his spouse, right? And I believe the footballing world has also forgiven Mason Greenwood. But I just feel for Manchester United, let him just go. You don't need to be talking to bring him back. Those rumors shouldn't even exist. People shouldn't be entertaining those kind of rumors. Marcus Rashford, another talk again. We should be done with this. We should be done with this. And these are the things that when I see the likes of Ole almost coming back, the likes of Greenwood talks about whether rumors of him coming back, and also what they call it, Marcus Rashford maybe might come back. People are saying let them bring Rashford back. It shows us that we are still attached to the past, and it's not a very nice thing. We should learn to move on. And I believe these players should move on with their careers in different clubs. And I believe we also should move on. We should move on. We should move on. And then, guys, we'll talk about Kopama. So Kopama, for me, I think when I had the report that, he's not feeling so good at London, he wants to be near his family, I'm like, okay, this is, and I said, so people say, let's go to Manchester United. The question I want to ask is, I get Kopama is coming, but we have to understand that the two major wings I believe Kopama will be very, very effective for Man United. I don't see him playing there. Really. I don't see him playing there. I know he's a fantastic talent, but we have, for example, on the right-hand side of our play, we have Brandon Mbeumo, we have Amad Diallo. Amad is gradually reaching a level in his career where we can consider to be his prime. He's gradually getting there, and we don't want to stop that development. Mbeumo obviously is at his prime and can even hit more because he's still trying to adapt to Man United. That's Mbeumo. But we begin to see that obviously Mbeumo is someone that we can deliver goals and everything. And I believe once he's done with the adaptation, finally, he's going to hit bigger than what he's doing currently. So that side is settled, especially based on the formation we're actually using. Bruno Fernandes is still with us. For me, I've said it clearly. If I was the owner of Man United, Bruno Fernandes retires at Manchester United. For me, if I was the owner. Yeah, I know as time goes on, his importance wanes. But for someone like Bruno Fernandes and the job he has done for us, I want him to retire here. Maybe we're looking at it that maybe Kopama can be the successor of Bruno Fernandes. We can now analyze that at broader scale. Can he give us what Bruno Fernandes can give us? Right? You know, what are his strengths? What does Bruno give us there? You know, are we moving away from a Bruno kind of number 10? Are we going to a Kopama kind of number 10? We can look at that. We can analyze it. I think that's what we'll do. But you just give a quick opinion about it. We need to ask ourselves, if by adventure it happens that he wants to come, we start thinking about what does his coming mean for our team? Because Kopama coming to Man United obviously means there's going to be a difference in how we play football. There has to be a difference when you have that kind of player in your squad. So we'll analyze it. I promise you that episode we are going to analyze it. So guys, these are my opinions on the little media noise we are getting. I said, let me just jump on, do something for you guys in terms of Casemiro, in terms of the replacement. We still maintain our word. Elliot Anderson and Carlos Baliba. I think United should be ambitious enough to get two of them. And then we looked at the little rumor around Mason Greenwood. Look at the talks about Marcus Rashford. Let the past be the past. And I think we should move on. We should move on and chart a new course. And then looking at the recent news of Kopama to Manchester United. Let's see if it actually works. Let's see. But I think we have to analyze it because bringing a Kopama to Man United obviously means our kind of football changes. It changes. And I know what I mean. It changes. And how does it change? Right? How does it change? We'll analyze it in further episodes. So guys, thank you for sticking with me. I remember I almost said, don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe. And most importantly, don't forget to share. Until I see you next time. Bye.